Hey guys, welcome to Bastion Time. I am your host Bastion. This is Nintendo News. Let's get to that news. Sakurai, the producer guy behind the Smash Bros. Games, specifically for Wii U and 3DS, said that if he had been forced to use the character model of Pac-Man that's from the Ghostly Adventures version, he might not have included Pac-Man at all. He just didn't really like that one, and he wanted something more classic looking, and so thankfully he wasn't forced. It wasn't an ultimatum. He didn't have to use the Ghostly Adventures one, just because he didn't want to and he wasn't going to, and so as a result he didn't have to scrap Pac-Man completely. Our next story is about Super Mario Maker and why there will not be a Zelda Maker likely. So in this interview it was explained that the reason why the name changed from Mario Maker to Super Mario Maker seems silly, but it's simply because they added in a whole bunch of features that they hadn't shown at E3 for 2014, and so because they've added all of these features, they wanted to let the consumers out there know that this is a much more improved version of what they were planning on releasing, and so they added Super to it. But I also think it makes sense because it's like, this makes Super Mario games, not just Mario in general games, but games that play like the original Super Mario Brothers and things in that series, so it makes sense. But as far as why there will likely not be a Zelda Maker game, they said that cramming all of this stuff in to let you make all of these changes and developments was taxing the system as it is, and that they just couldn't see that it would be extremely difficult, they said, for them to create a Zelda Maker. But I mean, it would be so awesome to create a Zelda Maker, especially if it was like in a Link Between Worlds style or something like that, where you've got, overhead view dungeons and things. That would be awesome. There is already a program out there that kind of lets you do something like that called Zelda Classic, but it's something that I played around with a bunch many years ago, and even made a few games and stuff. I mean, one of them I did a playthrough of the first one that I did, I think, on my channel here, which was like a third quest version of the original Legend of Zelda. But the point is, it's very difficult to use. With good reason, because there are so many absurd amounts of, possibilities. It's a cluster of stuff that you have to try to navigate through to figure out how to do this or how to do that. It hurt my brain a lot. So I can imagine that creating a user-friendly version of something like Zelda Classic would be practically next to impossible. I mean, even looking at Mario Maker, sometimes I'm like, oh geez, that looks slightly complicated, but I'm sure I'm going to give it a shot. Anyways, that is it for this episode of Nintendo News. See you guys tomorrow for more news. Bye guys!